Hello, welcome to Tarot to a T, and welcome to September 2023. Today's reading will be for the sign of Sagittarius. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here, and if you are returning, I'm especially glad to see you here. So thankful for my supporters, subscribers, anyone who's donated to the channel or just sit here a while we do your reading here. Okay, this is going to be a general inquiry, and you know the drill with that if you've been watching tarot for a while. If it doesn't apply to your situation, don't make it fit. Okay, we got something coming out here. So just see how the reading resonates, and if it doesn't after a few minutes, you're welcome to turn it off. Oh gosh, okay. You're welcome to turn it off and join me for the next one, which I hope you will. Okay, we definitely got some things going on for you in September, and just astronomically speaking, I know that September is going to be pretty intense as far as celestial events. We did have several things going on in August, but from what I understand, and I'm not an expert, but I do listen to other people on YouTube who know a lot about astrology and astronomy and what's going on with the planets and these full moons and new moons. There's just been a lot of kind of chaotic energy going on, and from what I understand, September is not going to be much easier. So let's go ahead and jump into the Sagittarius, because I did see some things here that are concerning. We got the King of Clubs and the Four of Clubs, the Ten of Spades, and we have the Eight of Spades. King of Clubs could be you. This is fire sign energy. Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. And the King of Clubs is most prominent in their control and just feeling like they have control over a situation, but just their control in general. They have a very good grasp on things. They're also a very good source of advice, and they're the kind of person that you can lean on. But I'm not thinking it's an outside person. I'm thinking it's you, Sagittarius. Things are looking very good in your household situation. You know, how you're able to pay the bills, how you're able to just keep a roof over your head, keep yourself fed, all that kind of thing, take care of your family. But this is what's concerning. So you had a major ending here that wrapped up a major cycle for you. It wasn't just an ending. It was the ending of all endings. It could have been traumatic. It could have been a lot of pain involved with this. This is like the kind of ending around like the wicked why am I hearing that? The wicked dissolution, is that how you say it? Dissolution of a marriage. It could be somebody becoming ill and passing away. It could be just something traumatic happening, whatever that may be, or some kind of major rift happening in your family. Nonetheless, there's a process here of pain and healing from that pain, denoted with the Ten of Spades. We will dig deeper to see if we can figure out what that's about, but it could be around an employment situation. This is a lot of pressure at work with the Eight of Spades. It's a call to action to relieve pressure. Now, the first thing that just kind of jumps out at me is if you're under this pressure, yeah, I don't think these are related. Anyway, it is supporting you perhaps financially, because your lifestyle is very well supported with the Four of Spades, like I went over a few minutes ago. So you just could have a very stressful job, putting in a lot of hours, being asked to do more than you're comfortable with, at a necessity, like doing other people's work, so that kind of thing. You could be also having an ongoing conflict with somebody at work, just somebody you don't get along with. And in the midst of that, you have this major thing that's ended or wrapped. I'm hearing wrapped up. That's why I stopped there. Wrapped, something that's majorly wrapped up in your life that was not pretty and not. It was not a good situation to go through, but you had to, apparently. The Seven of Clubs. We also have the Seven of Hearts. Wow, all this internal energy. This is all internal experiences. The Eight of Diamonds. And the Two of Diamonds. You might have some kind of new work situation going on for you. Maybe you did relieve the pressure here. And maybe it ended badly. Because the Eight of Diamonds talks about entrepreneurial energy. It's about going off on your own. Now, if you left that icky work situation, doesn't mean you're going off to start your own business, but you did take the initiative in some way to improve your pentacles, you see, because the diamonds are about your pentacles, your finance, your abundance. And things are looking very solid there. Again, here's a confirmation, especially if you're still in a relationship. There's a very good financial balance and harmony in that relationship. But even if you're not, it's still a very good sign that you're on good financial ground. Now, these two cards here are a bit worrisome. This talks about feeling trapped in some way, and this talks about being let down and going through some pain and heartache. I feel like this is the aftermath of leaving a stressful work situation that for some reason was very difficult for you. Maybe it ended in a lot of drama. I'm kind of picking up something like that. But you had to get out. This is that desperation to get out of something that's... It's like, I'm hearing that you spent way too much time there. And it became almost a desperate situation. And again, here's that heartache. This is usually around a person, honestly. But, you know, if it wasn't a person at work, it's just the employer in general. It's just kind of like this disappointment, this, like I said, letdown. It's also the fly-by-night card. If you know what fly-by-night means, it's like things are really sweet and wonderful in the beginning, and then they're short-lived. Could have been a situation like that where everything was just perfect and dandy, maybe for a while. When I say short-lived, I don't mean like a couple of weeks. It could have gone on a couple of years, and then it quickly went downhill. You know, things change. Management changes. Corporations decide to grow. And actually where I'm working, that's kind of going on, although it's not affecting me that way. I have seen the fallout and upper management of a company growing and its key management personnel not going along with the program. Matter of fact, they're leaving or asking to be taken out of the manager position. You see, that happens too, right? I am asking for more cards and information on this. Yes, it's very important that you follow your heart and your gut instinct at this time, and that's, I think you're aware of that. This is also that new start. Yeah, I feel like you walked away from a pretty crappy job situation. Maybe it might have put you on very even ground as far as finances, but it wasn't worth it. Emotionally, it wasn't worth it. Here's the physical separation. That just showed up. So that's also the change, Sagittarius. Yeah, I think you've already gone through this. I don't think this is headed your way. I mean, if you're about to walk out, here's the physical separation. Any other cards here you can tell me about Sagittarius and their situation? Seven of Spades. Ouch. This could be the epiphany that you reached about having to leave. It could also be that something came to light that triggered you for all of this to happen, honestly, kind of like a domino effect. This is about hidden information, facts, just things that were not known before, and once they became known, it's like, ouch, I gotta get out of here. This isn't, this isn't cool. It's not vibing with me anymore. Or on the other hand, you realize something. Maybe you realize the pressure you were under. Yeah, I'm feeling like that may be for a lot of Saggies out there who are watching this reading. You just came to this point where you had to get out. You had to get out, you know. Any more cards here you can tell me about Sagittarius and their situation, please? Yes. The colorized Joker, and things are feeling very up in the air for you. Very unsettled, and that is not a surprise. Not a surprise. This is, like I said, this was a major... We didn't see the Tower card come out, but this is almost like a Tower event. This was like a major thing. It might have happened very fast. It might not have been something that was calculated or expected. It unfolded very fast, for example. And it left you kind of feeling up in the air. That's what the Joker energy is about. But this is also the Magician card. And you could look at that in a couple of ways. The universe... How do I say this? The universe triggered you and put in motion a series of events that brought you to this place where you made this decision and you walked out. That's one scenario I'm getting. You know what I mean? It's like that divine intervention energy. Or you are looking to transform your own life in some major way, and that's what's wrapped up with this colorized Joker. I mean, you feel that energy and that pull that you needed a change, right? Feeling trapped and needing to get out from under this pressure. Yeah. I'm going to ask for another card here before we ask for advice. More information. Yeah, more information. Five of Diamonds. You might have had to settle on some kind of financial change here as well, especially if you walked out and didn't have another, source of income lined up. You might have had to negotiate in the sense that your last paycheck is your last paycheck, and so until you find something else, you're going to have to cut expenses or borrow money or rely upon your spouse more. I'm hearing that as well. But that's a change in your financial situation, and it's about negotiation and settlement. But you're willing to make this negotiation. This was so worth it, right? Yeah, because your mental health is worth more. Let's go ahead and ask for advice for Sagittarius. And I think your last reading, Sagittarius, from me was about making a stand and realizing you need to get out of a bad work situation. If you want to check out that reading, I have a playlist for you on my channel. I'm pretty sure it was for August. Like I said, a lot of things happened in August astronomically that affected a lot of signs, especially Leo, but maybe your sign as well, or you have Leo in your chart. And pretty sure that reading was about a bad work situation, so this could be the aftermath of that. We have the Eight of Diamonds again in your advice. Yep, this is the right move. Going off on your own. This initiation was meant to be, well, maybe not meant to be so per se, but it was the right thing to do. We also have the Queen of Spades. Six of Clubs, yeah. All about learning something. Yeah, you came out of the other side of this learning something for sure. And the Three of Diamonds. Yeah, you're making decisions around finances. That's the first thing I'll address here. Might be pulled in a couple different directions. The threes do talk about that, kind of being on the fence about something. About maybe where to go next, or if you have this entrepreneurial energy, since it did come out again, maybe what you're planning on doing on your own. If you always wanted to do something online where you're completely independent, or consulting or something, of that nature. You could be trying to decide about how to go about it. If you have the financial savings to get yourself going until the money starts coming in, it could be decisions around that. Again, the Eight of Diamonds did come out twice, but it could also just be the initiation that you took as a very solid individual effort, a concerted effort to put you in the right direction. And the Eight of Diamonds does talk about it paying off, so I do want you to recognize that this decision is going to pay off for you financially. The Queen of Spades could be an air sign you're involved with, or this could be you. Air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. The thing about the Queen of Spades is they kind of keep their mouth shut. They're kind of inward focused. They're very reserved. From the outside, people don't know exactly where they're coming from or what they're thinking. I tend to see this as the Hermit card as well. So if you're not dealing with an air sign, perhaps that... I'm picking up this could be a spouse and you don't know quite how they feel about this. That could be that reserved energy. If you don't have an air sign or a spouse, period, or a partner, this could be you just kind of keeping quiet about things. Like you're still processing. I'm hearing this happen so fast, it just like turned your head around, right? You could be in this processing mode of really trying to figure out what you feel, what you want to do next, going over, what do they call that in the military, when you need a debriefing, you need to debrief yourself and like get it out, you know, and just establish like, yeah, this is this is how it went down, this is what happened, and this is where I'm at now. And it just kind of grounds you again when we can do that, right? Nonetheless, this was a learning experience. The Six of Clubs, as I mentioned when it came out, you really learned a lot from this experience, which is important. This is about your personal growth here. Personal growth can be in any manner. It's not specific for anything, but I bet mentally and emotionally and professionally, perhaps, you learned a lot. But the sixes always also talk about new opportunities and doors opening for you, because now that you've passed that lesson, you've gone through this experience, you're ready for the next one, you see. So it's going to bring more opportunities your way by default. So that's fantastic. We also have the Eight of Clubs. Let me talk about that first before I ask for another card. This is the being at a crossroads, and I think I already kind of established that you were at a crossroads here. And this is your advice. I will remind you of that. So I guess I would expect to kind of be in this decision mode for a little bit. The T in the road, it's okay to sit here at the crossroads. There's nothing wrong with that. I think some people get antsy about having not made a decision, but apparently that's the mode you're going to be in for September, figuring out what you're going to do. And the Three of Spades, there could be a little bit more stress and worry about what you're going to do. Yeah. I would say that it's just kind of warning you that this is going to stress you out a little bit, especially if you're an ambitious person, a very career-oriented person. You're not going to feel real satisfied with just sitting at the crossroads, Sagittarius. That's going to feel pretty uncomfortable. Any more cards of advice? Oh crap, I dropped it. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, nice. This was worth it. You got a lot of eights out here, and here's another eight that talks about kind of relaxing and going out and spending time with family and friends. This is it's celebration, but it's more like socializing. If I had to guess what the advice is for you here, it's to focus on this. This is really probably going to relieve some of the stress and worry while you're in this decision mode. That makes a lot of sense to me, honestly. There's also a potential with the Eight of Hearts to meet somebody very significant, especially if you're single. But if you're not, you could just be meeting people who, hey, they might be good networking connections for your next career or your next employment opportunity, you see. But more than just like an associate, you know, somebody more significant than that. Somebody you have a little bit, at least, an emotional connection with. I think I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I feel like that's very solid advice to release some of that stress and worry. Going out there and socializing, mingling, finding opportunities to relax. But also just know, I hope this released some of the stress as well, that you made the right decision. This is going to pay off for you. And this hermit mode, I had another thought about it. If you're not already keeping to yourself or going inward or focusing inward, and when I say that, first of all, I want to tell you this has come out for 3 signs this month. There seems to be a focus on inward focus, but I want to use another word. It's almost being in a state of meditation. And perhaps that's something that would help you as well. Inward focused, practicing a little bit meditation. I had 2 other signs. What was it? Was it Gemini and I can't remember the other sign. Might have been Taurus. But they had the same thing, not the same situation, but this card about being in hermit mode. Like I said, you may be involved with an air sign who's just, you're not sure how they feel about things. That's pretty clear. But if that's not the case, this is asking you to step into that mode of just being more contemplative and looking back. Again, that word I used, debriefing yourself, allowing yourself the space to go through this and process what happened, because I think it did unravel pretty quickly for you. You have all this turmoil up here. Like, all of a sudden you had to get out. But you have learned a lot. And that ultimately, I believe that is why you went through this, and this is how it had to unfold for you. I'm going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. And also subscribe. It really does support the channel. You have no idea. And I deeply appreciate that if you can do that for me. Okay? I will see you again soon. Take care until I do.